What's up, Adam?
What's up, pal? How are you?
I am good, man. It's been a day, man. I feel like I just keep going, 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 going. Starting to lose my voice a little bit from too much talking.
Yeah.
So I'm praying to get through this and our next session.
Yeah, we have this meeting, then another meeting, then another meeting. We are working very, very late this evening because clients had to reschedule. I
Yeah.
got a lot of reschedules lately.
Yes, a lot of rescheduling lately, and I that kind of messes up our schedule,
It
but we
does.
got to do what we got to do, right?
No cancellations. That's good. But
No,
reschedules, I mean, life happens. It just seems like life's happening to everybody this week.
exactly. Yeah, and with all the illness going on and the cold in the Northeast and actually the whole East Coast, the cold is really screwing up everybody's schedule. Kids are home whether sick or because it's too damn cold to go to school. So we're in a deep
I
freeze
saw
right
they
now.
were sledding in New Orleans today.
Oh my goodness, that's
And they
crazy.
didn't, yeah, they didn't have that kind of snow since like 1895. And you're just watching kids outside do stuff we've always done, but it's like
Yeah,
the news reporter was like, for some of these children, this is the first time they're seeing snow.
that is awesome. Good for them.
We take for granted the things that we have in front of us each and every day, right?
Yep,
And that goes in our business. You know, when we have clients all the time, all of a sudden when they disappear, you're like, oh my gosh, I took for granted having those clients. Or
exactly.
when we have free time because we don't have so many clients and then we do get all these clients, we take for granted the free time that we had.
Yep.
And it's a constant ebb and flow in our life and our business, and you have to set it up that way so you have the ability to be flexible on stuff. So
Yeah.
we got our Q&A podcast here. We have Christy with us this evening. So it seems like we're going down. I like this route where we're just kind of me and you get a chance to talk a little bit more, and then we have one guest. So I think we want to
Yeah.
continue this, Tom.
Yep. I think so. I
Okay.
think so.
All right, Christy, why don't you say hi to everybody, let them know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and then you can jump right into your question, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So I'm Kristie Wilkerson, and I am the CEO and Chief Content Creator for Innovate to Elevate LLC. You can find me on LinkedIn primarily. And then what I do is I help people take their creative vision and turn it into reality with the power of AI. And I do that by teaching courses on all the different various formats of content creation with AI. It's a lot
What
of
is the
fun.
best place for them to find you?
LinkedIn
Under what?
under my Kristie Wilkerson.
Under you. Okay,
Yeah.
under the person.
My company's out there too, Innovate to Elevate, but I'm much more active on my personal profile.
Nice. So what question do you have for us?
So, to give you a little bit of context first, one of the things that I have pursued, and it's also causing more stuff to emerge, is these partnerships. So, because I teach technology, right, there are technology companies I'm dependent on, right, and they're dependent on me, kind of thing. So, one of them has sprouted a very awesome relationship where it's very mutual, right? I'm able to teach how to do things with AI for image and video creation using their platform, which pulls in a lot of different other AI models into it. And then they're in return, like I'm helping build out training, that's related to what their platform. And so they're willing to help promote me to their users and things like that as well. And what's come about more recently is other technology companies are noticing what I'm up to. And so I'm getting more people reaching out to me who are interested in a similar kind of relationship with other technology platforms too. And so, reflecting, I look at you guys with your Project 2740 and like I can see how you have formed like this set of partnerships yourselves, right? And so it's a combination, right? Like you have other people who fill in pieces of the puzzle, but then I can also tell there's companies, and businesses that you depend on in order to run your company too. And so some of what I wanted to talk about tonight was like, I think it's twofold. One is like balancing this among, launching classes and teaching and finding clients and things like that. Like there's that side of it that needs a ton of my time and attention, but it's a longer road to build these kind of relationships for future partnerships that could lead to a lot of different kinds of growth for me in the future too. So it's like some of it's balancing my time. And then the other piece is I'm very curious from you guys, since you've gone through this a lot with a lot of different partners, right? And choosing who you guys work with. It's like, what criteria, I'm curious, do you guys use to apply to decide when and who you decide to partner with.
I'll just give you my personal examples of when I've partnered with companies. It's usually because either I specifically use them or I use them as a referral source, meaning I would give my clients to that company because it was a product or service that I didn't provide. I have an email right here I just sent to one of my other companies to introduce Michael Kittinger, who does our CRM system. So one of my partners needed to build a CRM, so I'm introducing them to our partner, and we have an affiliate link that if they end up buying that, Tom and I get paid. I didn't do it to get paid. I did it because these other people were asking me like, hey, you're so great with your systems. We get great responses. What would we use? Because we're using this, but what do you use? I'm like, I use this. So I can speak to it because I use it. Danny Del Vecchio, I recommend his videos. Our social media for the most part is created by him and his company and his team. So I'm fine advocating on behalf of what he does. So I've always been a big fan of, am I going to use this or would I recommend this to my clients? Is that a good partnership, right? So that's the first thing that I look at. The second thing is looking at the company themselves. How are they going to treat my clients? Because I'm giving them, or my network or my friends or my family, how are they going to treat them? Because that is the most valuable asset I have, is the network and my clients, right? So if I can have the trust that if someone worked with you, you would represent me and actually make me look better because of what you're doing, that's a good thing. If I am questionable or skeptical about that, I don't even consider it. It's like, if I'm not 100% in, like, oh, these people are great, the work they do is great, the service or product they have is great, then I don't even consider it, because no partnership is worth me risking my main thing. Okay, so I always have to look at like protecting the main thing. And the main thing for me has always been the people, right? Because that's what I'm really doing. The secondary thing is my brand. What is my reputation? How is that going to be positively or negatively affected? And then the last piece that I always look at is, well, what can I do for this partnership? What value can I bring back to it? And if I don't believe there's enough value that I can bring back to it, then is it really a partnership? Right. So I'm always looking at partnerships, or we go the other way and we look at alliances. Alliances are just like, hey, I'm aligned with you because this naturally makes sense. It doesn't mean it's going to be a two-way street, but I can certainly introduce you to people, advocate on your behalf, things of that nature, because it's in alignment. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean a partnership. So I'm always a big separator of those two. For me, partnership is that we are going to it's basically a two-way street. Alliance, it's a one-way street. That's the simplest way. There's other factors that go into it, but that's the simplest way. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, so I mean, I think you answered that part very clearly. I'm trying to understand what you wanted in the second question, Christy, around balancing doing all your other work and this and setting up these partnerships and developing these relationships. So are you separating that? Why are you trying to separate that? Why are you trying to put that in balance? What's the obstacle of the work that's involved, or what is it that you're really trying to accomplish there?
It's making sure I'm protecting my time and attention, right, for my revenue generating kind of stuff. Like, I have a company I'm partnered with today that's around a lot of classes I'm launching and capable of teaching now,
Okay.
right, that I know is meeting a need in the market. And so these kind of taking time out for now, right, to go meet with new companies, learn some new tech stacks, build a relationship there and things like that, and see whether or not there's future opportunity, is pulling me away, even if it's just a little bit of time. So it's like, it reminds me of your, like the when, right? Like, is this...
Well, it's when people have the motivation to work with you, when they need you, etc. But yeah, I'm going to caution you not to separate it, because I think you got to keep all of it as part of what you're doing to generate revenue. It's a revenue generating activity, right? What you're doing with this current partner and building the courses and doing that piece of it, I think you have to stay working on that and create this time and the space for that, and create the expectations and the boundaries for yourself on how far and how much time you're going to invest in all of that. The other partners or the potential partners that are reaching out to you, you want to cultivate and nurture those relationships so that when the time is right, you can go into doing the work with them, right? Because if you start just working with one person or one company, one partnership, and that falls through or doesn't work out, then you're going to be back to square one. You're going to first be starting to generate the new relationships with the people that are reaching out. So you have to find in your schedule, like we talk about harmony, not balance, right? We got to find the harmony to be able to do both of those things. How much time and what boundaries you have around it, that you can totally quantify into a larger chunk of time goes here. But if you don't put any chunk of time to working on those new relationships, it could come back to bite you in the butt later on in life.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate that too. It's one of those, like, it's like trying to trust my intuition too.
Here's another piece that I would add to that. A partnership should actually alleviate your pressure of time because they're coming in and picking up something so you don't have to do that. So is this really a partnership or is this like a joint venture?
It's a fair question. I can tell you for the one I'm working with today. So they built the technology stack, right? And what I'm doing is teaching people how to use the technology stack. So the combination of our two companies together delivers something way better than
Okay,
either
so
of
that's
us
a joint
alone.
venture. That's not a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I will let you know, Tom and I are involved in multiple joint ventures. Joint ventures will take your time. There's no like balancing it. It's just allocating time to the joint venture. So you will be taking time away from what you're doing now and giving it to that. You can't balance it. All right. Whether it's harmony or balance, it's actually none of those things. It's if you have X amount of hours, you're now going to have Y plus Z hours, and you're going to allocate Z over here and Y over here. There's no taking X and like balancing it out. Okay. So that is what you're saying is a joint venture. A partnership is they're bringing resources to you to make the whole thing better, and you're bringing resources to make the whole thing better, and you lighten the load and grow everything. That's when you're partnering with somebody. So this sounds like you're going to have to add new things that you do that you didn't do before. That's a joint venture. So you 100% will be spending more time on that than you are currently spending on everything now. Not more time in total, but more. You're going to have to take a chunk and put it over here now. Are you prepared to do that? And the way you would decide if you're prepared to do that is your main thing generating the revenue that's suitable to pay for the business, pay for your lifestyle, and potentially hire somebody to then fill that time that you would be taking away from the company. If it is, then great, you can enter that joint venture. If it isn't, then what you're actually considering is a business pivot. You're saying, I'm actually going to switch my business to this new thing now, and I'm not going to focus here, I'm going to focus there. Okay, because if you can't run your thing and that thing, okay, the way they both need to be run, they're both going to suffer. So it's a heavy decision to be made.
Yeah.
There's something that me and Tom and Danny Delvecchio want to do together, and it's coaching and content. It's a cool thing that we're coming up with. It's basically taking our 5 W's and his content and merging them together, and it'd be a little bit of what we do and a little bit of what he does, and it's kind of a cool concept that we like. But that means both of our companies taking time away because it would be a joint venture.
Yep.
So that's on my problems list, and we'll deal with that when the time is available for us. And that's what we're always struggling with is like, this is a great opportunity, but is it my opportunity?
So some of the other piece of the puzzle here is like, at the end of the day, I'm not just trying to teach a single tech stack. I'm trying to help people reach some sort of creative vision. Mm-hmm. And so I am finding it's a combination of technologies that coupled that get us to the outcome that they're actually after.
But if you think about it, you don't need to partner with them to teach their tech stack. I mean, I could teach their tech stack tomorrow if I wanted to, if I went and got educated and learned it and put together a course and teach it. I don't need their involvement to teach it, right? So you're always going to be teaching. You're always going to, in your schedule, you're always going to have knowledge for you, like new knowledge that you're acquiring to then go teach these things, right? Because especially in AI, by the way, I don't know if you saw the news yesterday. Did you see the news yesterday?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
The new Trump administration had a Japanese investor, OpenAI CEO, and Oracle CEO at the White House, and they signed a new commitment. Japan is bringing $500 billion to OpenAI. And they are partnering with the United States of America, the government, to actually build infrastructure for AI. They're building huge data centers. There's $500 billion being brought from Japan, And what's the CEO's name of OpenAI?
Sam Altman?
Sam Altman spoke and was like, we couldn't have done this without the Trump administration. We thank you so much. So like literally day number 2, he's like, $500 billion AI. Here we go. Here are the gentlemen who are going to run this thing, and they're partnering with the US. The thing is, AI is moving so fast.
Yeah.
And that's what you're in. And it is going to be one of the biggest marketplaces. This will be like what the internet was, except it'll be exponentially quicker. Okay. So you're going to constantly have to learn. So for you to partner with somebody, I don't know if that's in the best interest of your forward vision of what you're trying to do, because then you have to really commit to those people and that tech stack. And as the 10 other things come out next week, you can be like, this is good, but this one's better. But now you're partnered with them. And it's like, but this one's better. I don't know. And if you wanted to teach that other one, you'll have a conflict of interest and won't be able to.
Yeah. And what you'll find is
very cautious of what you are building and if this helps it or hurts it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I definitely have appreciation for the technology is all doing this, right? And there's more than one platform doing the same thing. So some of the mastery is around what's the outcome, right? And this might be the particular tech stack I can do it with today, but can I learn it and teach it in this one and this one and this one, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right. Well, like Adam said, Christy, is this an opportunity or is this your opportunity? And that's the most important thing when going into any type of these type of relationships is, does this make the most sense for what I'm trying to do right now? Because if it doesn't, it's going to consume a lot of your time. It's going to pull you out of alignment. It's going to cause you frustration, and it's going to cause you to, to burn out a little bit potentially and lose the course of direction that your business is on. So you have to really discern whenever these things come up. The restless saboteur will try to kick in and be like, hey, opportunity, fear of missing out. I don't want to miss out on this thing. Oh, well, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. And you go back and forth with that saboteur and you're like, oh no, we should have just let it go. We should not have gotten involved with that one. But you have to be very aware of how FOMO will kick into play in these situations, because it's a great thing to want to work with other companies and partner and have joint ventures, but if it's going to be this huge energy suck and drain on your business, it is not the right opportunity for you. And that's what you have to be able to identify as soon as possible. And you may not identify that in the first couple of weeks. It may take a month or 2 or 3 or maybe 6 times, even sometimes, but you've got to be on the outlook for that at 6 months, if things aren't going the way you expect, you've got to be able to say, thanks a lot, I'm going to move in a different direction.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, and you actually are going to form a partnership, when you do your partnership agreement, okay, we have something that's called a cliff. Have you ever heard of this? Okay. So in any partnership agreement, you have a cliff. It's usually 90 days or 180 days, and it's basically the dating period. What it says is, hey, we're going to enter into this partnership agreement. This is how it works. This is what the expectations are. This is what we're going to do. We both have the opportunity before the cliff to drop out of this agreement, and it's usually 90 days or 180 days. So you can certainly look at the contractual levers that you want to pull to make sure you're not fully committed until you're really like, I'm committed to this thing. So there's plenty of ways to go about doing that. But I would really just sit and seek, like, is this the path that I want to go down for the next 10 years? Because if it's not a partnership. It's just like a quick little thing that you want to be involved with, and it's fine. And you could say, hey, why don't we just try something and do this for a little while, see how it goes. It doesn't have to be a formal partnership. It just be like, hey, let's teach this thing. I just fear that in your industry, within 3 weeks, there's going to be another thing that is more relevant to what you're trying to help people learn, and you're going to want to quickly move to that. So I don't know that you becoming the expert in one specific tech stack and teaching that is beneficial to the outcome you're trying to bring to your clients.
Yeah, it's more like how to build a consistent character in AI, right? That's the thing I know how to do, and you can do it in more than one tech stack.
And that's the thing. And next month, you're going to have more tools, and next year, you're going to have more systems and more processes and more. And it's like, for you to stay in being the expert of what you do, it's not what tool you use. It's what are you trying to accomplish? So I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying these are things that you should really sit and consider before you enter into a formal agreement. Tom and I have plenty of agreements with people. Some are formal and some are informal. And some there's a requirement of payment, some there's a requirement of time, and some there's a requirement of like, we trust each other and that's it. Okay. So it doesn't have to be as formal as you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I think I have even different spectrums now. So some of it is early access to the technology before they've let it out to the rest of the public, right? Sometimes it's discounts for me. Sometimes it's a promo code that's unique to me so that my students can get a better deal on the technology stack. And then the cross promotion, right? So I'm promoting their technology and how to use it, and they're promoting the fact that I teach it, right? And so, that there's kind of shared capability there, right? As
Michelle said,
It makes sense why you like to give 90 days before you change stuff. Yeah, we do that all the time, Phil.
But now Michelle understands why I use that metric all the time. 90 days. Yes, it's a cliff that's in most corporate agreements that we use. So
the other thing that came up today, Adam, is like reflecting on the session earlier today about prospecting, right? And how you go check your criteria for qualifiers and disqualifiers for a client, and in my case, a student, right? Or a business that might have a bunch of students. It totally was in my head that like, oh, I feel like the same technology partners, business partner kind of opportunities, like I need to have something similar to that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like I'm reacting to people reaching out to me, but it's like, okay, whoa, back up a minute. What if I was the one deciding I want to add another technology to the stack? Like who would I go court and why?
Great.
Good job, Christy.
That's very good, because you're showing yourself like how valuable you actually are to them instead of how valuable their stuff is to you.
Right.
That's a wonderful thing that you've just said out loud. So commend yourself for that. But yeah, it's you. Everything that we're doing when we're running a business is, of course, we want clients and we want to make revenue, but we want to be in a position where we can be selective, especially in businesses like yours and like ours. If you're selling a widget, right? You want to sell as many widgets as possibly can, and hopefully you don't get returns, right? That's it. It's just quality on that. But when you're selling a service, you really have to be protective of who you work with and making sure that that's up to your standards. So yeah, if you're going to partner with people, reach out to them, you're going to want to have those same qualifiers and disqualifiers. So that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, we got to wrap this thing up and move over to our group session. So those of you who are waiting for us over there, I look forward to seeing you. If you don't know, inside of our community, we do a 1 hour long question and answer session for them every Wednesday after our podcast. So we'll see you there. Tom, what do you want to wrap it up with, pal?
All right, listen, if you are a business owner, you are struggling, you are trying to figure all this crap out, and you're just at the point where you're not sure what direction to go, check us out, hit us up, go to our website, go to our contact page and schedule a time. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to get to know you and get some of your feedback too, and see how these episodes are helping. The whole point of why we do this is so that you can access the information that a lot of our clients and community members get for what they pay for. You get a little bit of it for free. So listen, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your night.